Here we go. Let's see. Hey, can you guys hear us? Can you hear me? And live stream? Hello?
Yeah. Is that the question for us?
Yes. No, because last time I had the mic off. Well, not the mic off, but the uh, the whole it wasn't recording the external mic. But anyway, all right. Well, here we are. We're live.
Hello.
Thanks for coming, guys. We have Jana
Hey
Schirmer
guys.
and Lorena Lammer. Uh,
Yeah.
So yeah, glad to have everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the questions.
Right.
For anybody that's coming that doesn't know, Jar Die is a study group, and we do monthly challenges. And every month we have a guest judge uh, come in and judge the briefs that we create. And we have first, second, third, and honorable mention. And this month or last month was Yana. So uh, all right, let's go ahead and start with the questions. So right off the bat, let's start off with the most typical but important question. Um, how did you get started, Yana?
Yeah, it's a good question though, because it's always hard to hard to remember. I think I always like to paint, like even as a child. Like I was super happy that my parents are really supportive. My mom, for instance, she used to paint too when she was younger, so she was always really supportive, and I think that helps a lot if if your parents always uh, fine with what you do, and they also sent me to like a drawing school when I was younger. I went there like every Friday, and so that was good already. And then I discovered when I was 14, I discovered Oikaki, which I don't know if how many people of you know that, but it's like a Java-based online drawing program, and you could draw online these little pictures, and you could send them and upload them on a board, and other people could comment it and stuff, and it was really fun. It was really motivating. I spent like most of my time where I should have been learning on drawing oikakis, and and then I got to digital painting too.
So
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
did you start the digital thing like pretty soon after you were doing your traditional stuff, or was it a while before you did that?
Yeah, I started when I was 14 years old. When I discovered that oikaki, I saw that, like, I was starting with, like, drawing with my mouse, and it was really hard to do. And I was wondering, how are they able to draw these smooth lines? They look so perfect. And then I took some research, and I found out about Wacom, and then a new world opened for me. And so I got my first drawing tablet when I was 14 years old, and with it was like an Intuos One in A5, and you still you got Painter Classics when you purchased a Wacom tablet, and that's how I got into digital painting.
Okay, nice. Okay, so next question. I said, okay, so later once we get older, I think we all hit this point where we realize there's a lot of work to be done, to improve. And I'm talking about the times when we see some really amazing art, and it inspires us to try and reach like another level of greatness. So, who were those influences for you initially?
Like I always loved the work of Greg Mullins. Like I don't know. I still look at his paintings. I'm still wondering how is he able to do that? Because I don't know. For me, it's just the god of digital art, basically.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my favorite when it comes to painting digitally, because I remember first seeing his work online, and it was just mind blowing for me. Was that the question? Did it
Yeah,
answer the?
yeah.
Okay.
Who your who your influences were? So was it just Craig Mullins for the most part? You would say?
Uh, yeah, I also love to, especially when I started doing that oikaki thing. I well, I come from like a more like a manga background. I loved like a teenager. When I was a teenager, I loved reading manga, and Sailor Moon got me into drawing. Like I was drawing more and more when I was watching Sailor Moon because I also wanted to draw the characters. And I had a friend in school, and we would draw together, and this was always really fun for me. And I kept drawing this manga style for a while before I tried to go into more like a realistic approach, I would say. Yeah, so there were a lot of really awesome Asian artists that inspired me because they still had this manga base, but the rendering was way more realistic. And I think this style, when I was a teenager, really spoke to me because I really loved how they still kept that stylized, the stylized characters, but they had this really good understanding of light and colors, and this really inspired me. But I think I couldn't like point out one single artist. It was more like a huge group of people who were like doing that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds so familiar.
Yeah, I know a
Yeah.
lot of that's
Yeah,
usually.
I met a bunch of people who were just huge manga nerds, and then they started drawing
Yeah,
like their
especially
favorite characters.
Yeah, especially the Sailor Moon part.
But you're German too. I guess that was
Yeah.
around the time when Sailor Moon was aired on TV, and I think I'm sure there's so many people who, females especially, got super inspired by Sailor Moon. I have a bunch of friends who started like this.
Okay, so once that motivation, like that hunger came in to get better, what did you do to improve? Like, did you have a schedule, or did you pursue to fix like your weaknesses one at a time? Like, was it a random, you're trying to do one thing at a time, or was it more of a schedule? You have it down. This is what you're doing.
I think what was mostly driving me most of the time is just the pure fun. Like drawing and painting was so much fun for me, so I just kept doing it. And I think most people, or many people, I got these messages about, oh, what do you do to improve, and what should I study first? Should I learn this first, or where should I start? And I think some people, they're too concerned and they're too unsure about what to study instead of just doing something. They spend too much time and like trying to figure out what is the most perfect way to study instead of just drawing their asses off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so, yeah, this was driving me most of the time, that I just wanted to produce and to just paint whatever I like. And maybe it was also a bit procrastination because I wasn't really good at school, and like as a teenager I wasn't the most social person, so it was maybe also my kind of like my world that I would go into, and I could just be like creative. I think that's also what it was. And and then like a few years ago, I think when something happened that really formed me, like my mom died, and then it made click in my head that you only have one life, and if you know what I mean. It's like, if you really want to achieve something, you can only do it now, and you should use your time. And then I think I started studying more, which I haven't really done before. Like before, I was just, I'm just gonna draw whatever I want, and then I had this motivation out of this. Out of this, so I started to be more focused. Basically, I did more photo studies, for instance. I tried to really draw more, and that's it basically.
Oh wow, so that's pretty deep. I think that happens to a lot of people. There's some sort of incident or something that happens in their life that really changes the way they look at everything.
Just to see that life is limited too. Your time is limited. And
exactly.
yeah.
Wow, that's okay. That's
Sorry if it's too like sad or
no,
something.
no, no,
Oh
no. It
no,
happens.
no.
I think it happens to everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Sooner or later.
Yeah, something sneaks up and bites you in the butt, and you're like, my time here is very limited. I can't waste it.
Yeah.
That's that's well. That's. Whew. Okay, so we'll go with the next question.
All right.
Okay.
Lorena's got him.
Yeah. All right. So I think it's time to talk about sleeping habits.
Okay.
Because we all know that, well, a lot of us artists tend to not sleep or have like really like sleepless nights and just work and I don't know. And so, did you have like a time where you just spent time drawing and painting and not sleeping at all, or did you keep like a sleep schedule, like I don't know, waking up early and going to bed early? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to sleep in, that's for sure, and I love sleeping in general. So I have absolutely no problem of getting not enough sleep because I love it so much. I always get enough sleep. So I would rather stop painting or drawing instead of not getting enough sleep, I think. But my sleeping schedule right now is a bit fucked anyways because I'm right now I'm often traveling between like the Los Angeles area to Germany, and that's like a 9 hours difference. So when I come back, either way, I'm usually very jet lagged, and as a freelancer, you don't really have you don't need to wake up early. So
Yeah, that's
usually
right.
when I go back to Berlin, I just sleep until late, like maybe sometimes till like 12, but then I stay up to work. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the night time is for me. It's the perfect time to work because I love
Yes.
how everything is so calm. You feel like you have all the time of the world. I don't know. I love working at night, so I would rather do something during the day and then I would start working during the evening and nighttime.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I work. I actually work pretty well in the morning, but you know,
Yeah.
like really early. So I get up like
Like at
at 5 or
6?
6.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I don't always do that. I just do it when I, you know, feel up to it.
But it's
So,
awesome if you have if you can do that. I mean, I really admire people who can wake up so late and then do stuff. 'Cause you feel like when it's 10 o'clock in the morning and you already have done so much stuff, you feel so
Yeah.
productive. That's awesome too.
yeah, that is pretty awesome. That is like the one reason I really do that.
That's cool if you can do it.
Okay, good. Let's move on. So, when you started out like painting for real, but you already told us a bit about that, about the oekaki and stuff like that. But did you like start by painting in values or like grayscales and then apply color on top of it, or did you always just start off with color right away?
I love to do to start just with colors because I'm really not a fan of this grayscale painting because I think it works good if you want to make a sketch or like a thumbnail and you want to figure out how your values are gonna be. But for me, it's so hard to apply colors when it's grayscale because I don't know. It always feels like the colors that I do are a bit muddy, and I'm gonna change the values anyways. And also, I think if you start in grayscale, you only have the contrast of values, but you can create contrast with so much more. For instance, with just with colors, which you wouldn't really see in your grayscale painting. So I think it's better to start with colors, but maybe have a grayscale, like a thumbnail or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's pretty much how I feel about it too. I can't get the hang of the whole grayscale thing. So.
Yeah, I remember at work I sometimes had to work on like a grayscale sketch, and I just hated it. I mean, I just really don't like working on grayscale. I would rather, like, if I would get a grayscale sketch to work on it, I would like pump up the lightness so much that I would barely see anything but lines. So I could basically start from scratch.
Yeah, I think there are some older like live streams you did. Oh, yeah. They're still on the internet, and I think I watched some of them, and I thought it was really fascinating how you started a painting sometimes, you know, just like with blobs of color. So that is pretty cool, actually.
Thanks. Oh my god, the live stream stuff that's online is so old.
Yeah, it is, but it's really interesting. I really like watching it because it's just so inspiring. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, okay, so what about your current workflow? Do you still like, well, we now know that you do everything in color from start, but have you like different, you know, different kind of approaches? Like, do you sometimes say, okay, to just, you know, just sketch something or I'm going to do like a tight sketch, or does it depend on what you're working on?
Yeah, that pretty much depends on what I'm working on. Like for client work, if usually they request a sketch before. Like if I do an illustration, usually the client wants a sketch. So I would do the sketch in black and white and also put some black and white values on it, but I wouldn't use that values later. So I would just keep the lines and then start from scratch with colors again. But I would usually do like a black and white value sketch for the client. So it's also easier for the clients, I think, to imagine how the picture would look like if it has some kind of values in it. But usually that change later too. So after the sketch, if the client approves it, I would just keep the line art, and then I would that's so hard to to explain all this. I would just use like masks for the elements. Like I would usually separate the character like from the background, and I would separate all the elements. So in case the client still wants to have a change, like please draw the arm in a different way or whatever, I would still be able to do it without destroying the whole background. If you know, so I like to keep when I work for clients at least. I like to really keep my layers clean. Like I would really like to have everything in different groups and layers and stuff. But when I do like personal work, I often really love to just open Photoshop and just just put some bunch of color blobs into the painting and then just start from there. Or when I do like portraits, because I really like to do doing portraits of friends in my free time, I would also just start on one layer because it's just easier for me to copy stuff around.
Yeah, those are awesome, by the way, too.
I
love them.
They definitely are.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think you have some of your like work in progress stuff on your Facebook.
Yeah, I have it on the live stream right now. We're looking at it.
Okay, yeah, because people, you can just check out her Facebook, and then there are some progress pictures if you want to see them. Just so you know.
Yeah, I have a few, not all the pictures, but yeah, it's basically. I mean, my workflow often doesn't change. Like the pictures that I have online, this is basically how I would always start a picture.
All right, Ricky.
It's my turn. Oh, yay! So we talked about the color. So here's a question that I think we see a lot like in the industry. Like I think there's two types of people. There's the type that are kind of really hard on themselves.
Yeah.
And then there's a type that are a little bit more, I guess passive on themselves, kind of more of a positive approach on things. I gotta say, I'm a very negative. Like I'm very critical on myself, and I know of a lot of people that are as well. And sometimes you like there's that kind of debate, like you should be more positive on yourself, blah blah blah. What type of person are you? Like, are you more of are you harder on yourself Or
That's a really cool question, actually. I don't know. I think I'm something in between. Like, I know people who, like, I've heard stories like that people would like see a really awesome artwork and they would like be, oh, nothing makes sense. I will never be as good at this, and they get depressed by seeing good pictures. You know, people like this.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, so I never get this, for instance. Like, when I see a awesome picture, I never get depressed, but at the same time, I really feel like when I'm hitting limits, you know, like sometimes illustrations, they go so easily for me. I just do them and they're done in an instant, and okay, cool. But then sometimes illustrations would take me so long, and there's something that would really bother me, but I can't tell what, and it's just, it takes forever to finish something because I'm just trying to fix it, but I make it worse, and this, like, when I have this, it gets really depressing for me. Like, I get really mad at this, and then I don't want to touch the picture in days, and I don't want to paint in days, and so yeah, it's terrible. But I think it's okay. I think it's good to be a bit more self-critical, because it's always good to know what you can do if it gives you motivation to work on it. At the same time, I think it's not, you know, if you're too confident in your work, maybe yeah, it's not. Maybe you don't feel like, maybe it doesn't push you enough. I think you need to find out what will push you to get better. If you're more like a person who will get motivated because you see the progress, or if you get motivated to see what you can do, and then this makes you motivated. I think it really depends from person to person. I also know people who they're so they're they have the tendency to talk them down so much that they just get into this state that they say, oh, nothing makes sense, I'm too bad, I can't do it. And it doesn't matter how good you are, there are people who are like this, even if they can be the most amazing artists in the world. And I think that's not really healthy either, you know what I mean?
yeah, it's good to be a little bit, but not like overdo
I
it.
guess so. I mean, really depends on, I think I hardly know people who are like super convinced about their work, like who would draw a picture and they would be like, "Ah, this is the best thing in the world," or something like
Yeah,
this. I
that's
think
horrible.
it's so natural for artists to feel like shit, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are some of them. I've seen some of them.
They're like, yeah, check
really
out,
weird.
perfect art. Check it out. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, there are some of them. I agree.
so, you guys heard that? Don't be too cocky, guys. There's always room for learning.
There's always a room for improvement, exactly.
Okay, so next question, which was actually kind of about that, the dark phases. So we already covered that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll jump over to 9. How many hours a day were you drawing when you first started, and then how much do you draw now?
That's a tricky question. I mean, because I always like to draw even when I was a child. But yeah, when I was a teenager, I spent definitely too much time drawing. Like, I would draw at school instead of taking notes for my classes, and when I would come home, I would rather paint on the computer instead of doing my homework. And yeah, and then I quit school pretty early, and I kept drawing most of my time. I mean, I had phases where I was really addicted to online role playing games, and I wouldn't draw that much. But yeah, and today, it depends. I mean, sometimes, to be honest, I would just do work. Sometimes I don't feel like working on my personal projects after. Like, it just takes all my energy, and when I'm done with work, I'm happy to do something different after.
Okay.
So I would say I would just, use my time with working, and if I don't have anything to work, maybe I would do some personal project, but usually that takes all my energy.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. So yeah. Sorry. One question that, well, you know, just I find interesting. Well, anyway.
I'm excited.
Well, it's not like, yeah. Anyway, so what would you say was like the best piece of advice you've ever gotten? You know, about art related advice, where you would say, oh, that is such good advice. I wish I would have known earlier. You know. Because sometimes I think, for example, I would really love to talk to my past self and just tell myself, you gotta do this and that, and I just wish I would have known, you know?
Yeah, like yourself right now says, oh, I would rather hang out at the couch, but then your future self wouldn't be happy about it.
Exactly.
Instead of practicing.
Exactly.
Yeah, the best advice I've got, I mean, there's so many. I mean, I'm not really sure if I can answer this question, but I think it's something like what I said earlier, that I think the best advice I think that people can give is don't forget the fun in painting, because I think people are really sometimes maybe people who are really into it, they get too caught up with doing studies and trying to get better, but then they lose the fun of it, and then it can be hard to motivate yourself. I think you always should remember like what sparked why you started drawing, and mostly it was because it was so fun for us to paint and create things, and I think we should never forget the fun part, and not always try to be too concentrated and getting better and trying new techniques and stuff, and just sometimes just have fun in it, and usually like the improvement will come naturally if you just keep doing what you like to do.
Yeah, I think I just hit that point where I'm just like, I need to just relax and have fun with this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good advice, actually, because some
Lorena?
painting. Yeah. What?
Oh, you were gone for
you broke up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Well, no. What I was saying is that is actually pretty good advice, because some people just forget about that. They forget why they started painting in the first place. And I think we all started because we had fun and we just love creating stuff and, just do what we like. So I think everyone should remember that from time to time.
I think it's also easy to forget, because I mean I do this, like I do the painting now for my job, and when a hobby becomes a job, usually it's not your hobby anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's sometimes hard to remember, because if you do something for a job, it becomes work, and it's hard to find the balance sometimes, but it's good to from time to time to just work on your personal stuff and just relax and do what you like to do.
Yeah, exactly. I think so as well.
Cool.
Okay, Ricky.
So so usually when you're doing client work, there's things you have to do. They want specific stuff that they want to see, so you kind of have to follow what they're giving you. But what do you pursue in your personal work? What are you striving for exactly?
So the question is basically what I like to do for my own.
For your personal.
I feel like right now I need to find out again, because I'm just freelancer again for a few years, and I feel like before I was so stuck in work that I completely forgot like what I was talking about. Like I was just working, and I really right now I really feel like I have to get back into working on my own stuff. And right now, to be honest, I don't focus on on like trying too much. Like it's hard to say. Like right now, I really try to get better into drawing, like painting regularly. I don't even set myself goals or something like this right now. I just focus on finding the fun again and drawing like on a more regular basis. And this is like more important for me because I would rather produce like a shitty painting right now instead of not doing anything at all, because I really feel like I need to uh, work work yeah, like go back into just having fun and produce more. Because when I look back at paintings that I was just doing when I like I wasn't stuck at work and I was just doing what I liked, and that stuff works out so much better if I force myself in doing something. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Makes sense. So,
okay.
oh, go ahead.
No, I didn't. I didn't say anything.
So we hit the sleep schedule, and I mean, because I was asking that actually because I read that you were a vegan.
Oh yeah.
So how does that help in any way? I mean, do you feel like physically healthier because you're doing that, or?
Uh, I mean, it doesn't affect my sleep. I think my sleep was always really healthy.
Good.
Yeah, maybe a bit too good, but yeah, I can definitely feel that if I try to eat more healthy. Like you can also eat unhealthy as a vegan. You know, it's not necessary that you're gonna eat super healthy, because like Oreo cookies, they're vegan too, and you could just eat them all day with eating chips. So, and that would be totally vegan, right? But if I yeah, if I try to eat healthy, I think I feel like I'm a bit more on the active side. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm asking this because I'm like so unhealthy right now, and there's a lot of people that are just drinking Red Bulls all day, and
Yeah.
and I'd really like to get into a better, just start taking care of myself a little bit more instead
That's
of,
great.
yeah, instead
You
of
should.
killing myself and not sleeping, and it's kind of a dangerous territory.
I think it's a habit. I mean, also with the sleeping, it's if you really wanna do it, I'm sure if you just keep. I mean, I think everybody, if you're like, oh shit, I would like to wake up at 5 like Lorena, I should. If you do that for 90 days, I'm sure you would develop a habit that would be, yeah, would lead into the sleeping schedule. And I often change my eating habits because I was really overweight for most of my life, I think, and like a few years ago, I lost a lot of weight, and so I'm kind of used to changing my eating habits, so it wasn't that hard for me to switch actually.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think it's that hard going vegan. The only thing that's really hard is knowing what you can eat and what you can't eat, because you have to like read everything.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I also think people think it's more harder than you think. It's just what's hard is the habit that you have, and
Exactly.
once you like 2 weeks into it, and it will be already so much easier.
okay. So last question from us. It's a very difficult question. Star Wars or Star Trek?
I would say Star Wars because I wasn't really watching Star Trek too much. Yeah, I watched I don't even know which was the last Star Trek movie I was, if I saw the newest one or just the one before, but I would say Star Wars, even though I hate the prequels and
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Good answer. Good answer,
Yes,
Jana.
exactly.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're so bad, especially if you rewatch them. I don't know if you guys know Red Letter Media on YouTube. He did an awesome review on the the prequels, and it's so funny. You should check it out. It's really funny.
Did you guys watch the new Star Wars trailer that just came out?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Not yet. Oh my god.
It's
not yet.
it's really cool. I nearly cried. It was
I think they can only make it better. You know, even if they make a decent movie after like Clone Wars and all that shit, it can only succeed. You know.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and open up the chat questions. If you guys have any, Eric's got one. Eric was asking, what clients is Jana currently doing work for, and he says he's seen some work for Applebot. And which clients did she start out with, and when did she feel comfortable approaching the companies?
Oh, okay. Okay. Right, there was a bunch of questions in one.
Yeah, it was.
I first started with DeviantArt commissions. Like I was just doing like illustrations for like $50, like super cheap. But I guess that was the first time I would get money for work. But it was way too cheap, so don't do that, people. Okay. And then, like, my first job was, I think I started out as a comic colorist. So there was this, I was working for that Jada company as a comic colorist, and then Marvel would see those pages I did, so I was coloring some comics for Marvel.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like super.
That is awesome.
Yeah, but I always felt so bad because so you receive this pages that are in black and white and they look awesome. You know, it's really balanced how they look like with the right amount of black spaces and white spaces. And I always loved seeing the black and white things. And then if you do the colors, I would always feel I'm ruining the page by just adding more dark into it, you know. And I also found it really hard to work with this black because sometimes the inker would or the artist would put like really black spaces into it, and I wouldn't really know how to deal with it with my coloration. So it was a bit difficult job, and I also wanted to at some point I just didn't want to just to be the colorist. I wanted to do my own like illustrations and stuff. Yeah. So that's pretty much how I started, and then right now I don't work for Applebot anymore, which is a bummer because I loved working for them because it was just the best client in a while that I had because you had so much freedom. It's kind of funny because people usually say, oh, with Applebot they always ask you to make the boobs bigger, and it's funny because I never got this comment that I should make the boobs bigger, for instance.
They have not yet asked me to make the boobs bigger. That's funny. So now, actually, I have a question. Speaking of
freelancers, still working for them because I think they got rid of a lot of freelancers. It was funny at some point. It seems like they hired every freelancer out there. It seems like the whole internet was working for this company.
It was the Applebot explosion.
Yeah. But I think I hopped on the train too late because, I really enjoyed it. But then, they stopped hiring freelancers, I think. So, and right now it's really sad. I like that. But right now I'm working on something similar, like also like illustrations for like basically the same thing, but a different company. I'm doing illustrations like with a normal version, advanced version thing, and Did I miss something?
Nope, that was. I think you answered all of 5 of Eric's questions in one.
Thank you, Eric.
But actually, before I jump into the next question, I have a question about your. You said you used to be a colorist, so for comics, and I kind of know the process for that. They kind of work in flattening out the image, and then they separate the different elements. Is that why you kind of feel comfortable doing that in your current work? Like you said, you separate your elements. And I noticed Dan Levisi I think he colored comics as well and uses pretty much that same process as well.
That's
Or
funny.
yeah,
Yeah. I definitely think that it has something to do with it because it's just makes so much sense when it comes to workflow. I feel like like coloring comics was kind of boring work to what I'm doing now, but it's helped me to gain a lot of speed. Like before, I would really sit. I would spend a whole day on just one page, which is way too much, and then I could see I could do multiple pages during a day, and it definitely helped me to improve the workflow.
so how long? That's another question. Now it pops up. How
Oh,
how
he's on
long?
a roll.
I know. So how long does it take you to work like finish a piece? Let's say an Applebot illustration.
Yeah, you usually get 1 month for boss illustration, and I think I try to finish it within the deadline. I don't know. It's a really hard question because I usually, when I freelance, I work on and off, and I don't really measure my time, which is bad, I think, because then I really don't know how long I spent for a piece. I mean, I can't really not say how much hours. I would totally guess, and then I might be wrong, and yeah, I don't know.
So it varies up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Suzanne Helmi. I think it's Suzanne, right? Suzanne.
Yeah,
She's
it
in here.
is.
Yeah. Hey, Suzanne. What's up? She's asking. I might have missed the part, but what do you recommend someone who wants to improve on coming up with cool designs for characters?
I would recommend that. Like I think usually people get too inspired of what's already there. Like we would all get super blown away by the awesome character design that's already out there for video games or for TV series or whatever, and would get inspired by what's already there and would try to make something similar to that. But I think you can find so much incredible inspiration of like old stuff, like actual stuff that really existed. Like if you, for instance, if you want to do like a knight armor, and you would just look at concept art that other people did and get inspired by that, then it's the chances high that you would just produce what was already there. But if you look, for instance, there's like crazy designs of old armors for like knights and stuff. I would always try to look at that stuff first and then get inspired by that instead of yeah, being too influenced by the current entertainment art that's out there. It goes for all kinds of stuff. I mean, I just said knight armor as an example, but it's always really interesting to look at how stuff was actually made. Also, like to I don't like how the fabric is stitched together with actual clothing, and you can use this as an inspiration. And I think that's how you get a more realistic and like a believable design. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Nice. Okay. There you go. That's that
I hope
question.
that,
There you go.
I hope
That's
that helped.
final answer. Uh, all right. One more question. Luke Maddox says. Oh, Suzanne said thanks.
Ah, welcome.
Yeah.
Luke Maddox says when
I
you
think I think
go. You think what? Go ahead, Laura.
there was a question before that.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did I skip it?
Is that Jen? I think it's Jen. Is it Jen? Have you ever worked a regular job?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I missed.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Jen. I'm sorry, Jen. I didn't see it.
No. I never did, and I don't know if it's good or bad because maybe it's great if you maybe do like a different job so you can appreciate what you do more because you're like, oh, I can draw in my work. I don't have to work on a counter or whatever. So yeah, I never experienced this. It would be fun maybe to do that.
Yeah, no. I think working in art is actually pretty cool, and
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, I really do feel really privileged that I can do that. I mean, there's so many people who probably they hate to go to work and they do a boring job, and
they come home and draw. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel really lucky to be able to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, my cat's
Okay,
trying to
Ricky,
my
now.
cat's trying to jump into the live stream. He's jumping around over here. Okay. Next question. Now we can go to Luke, right? Is that
exactly.
all right? Sorry, guys. He says, when you look at your own work, is there anything where you think you wish you were better at?
Always. I think I don't know. It's for me. It's hard to tell the what I would like to do, because I always look at my work and then I feel like, I wish this would be a bit better, but I don't really know usually how to achieve that yet. But I always feel like, I wish I would do better. Or I look at other work and I'm like, I wish I would be able to do that. And I would like to have I would love to just put Kim Jung-gi together with Greg Mullins and combine these skills, and that would be awesome.
I don't think Kim is human. I'm just saying. I don't think he's human.
I've met him before. He is so humble too. It's I don't know how. It's just crazy, but it's so interesting. Like he was like giving like a demo at a school nearby this place, and it's interesting because somebody asked him about his schedule, and like he would do a lot of studies. Like he would constantly draw, and I think if you constantly draw for so many years like him, I think it's you see there's no actual magic behind it. It's hard work, and this is. I also tend to think this is just insane how good he is, but if you imagine just drawing as much as he did, then maybe we have a glimpse of a chance to be as good as him one day before we die or something. I don't know. It's just the hard part to actually draw that much. I think many people just don't draw that much.
Yeah, it's all about the hours. About the hours.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
Yeah, it's a great inspiration. I love his work so much. It's so full of ideas, and it feels like he can draw anything and everything. It's amazing how he just the whiteboard videos when he just starts somewhere and this crazy scene and like fisheye perspective, and
it's insane. I don't think he's human. I'm just saying. He came from like some other planet, and now he's like picking on us.
He's just there to make us feel bad.
Yeah, that's why they sent him over here. They're like, all right, we're gonna pick on the artists on Earth. We shall name him Kim. All right. Is that it for the questions, guys? No more questions?
No, there are more questions.
Is there?
Oh, Ricky.
What? I can't see. We already hit up the costumes, Jen.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we did.
So
I actually have
a
question that is like related to the one you just answered. But was there any like did you have like problems with like one particular thing when painting? For example, I don't know. You've never had problems with painting faces because you just paint beautiful faces. But is there anything else that you would say that was really hard for me to learn?
I think everything except pretty girls. Because if you look at my paintings, they're pretty much all comfort zone all the way. So I don't even know if I could actually be good at something else. I don't know. It's all about practice, right? But I really just, I'm really a comforty kind of artist, and I should definitely know to myself I should explore more different things. But yeah, yeah.
Is it easier for you to draw girls than men?
Yeah, for sure.
So it is true.
Yeah, it's the same with me. So I just want to.
I think it helps though portraits like as a practice. Like, I mean, everybody can do that. Just ask a friend to sit down for like 2 hours or something and just draw them. It really helps to have like to build up your library of how people look like and stuff. I think that helps. But yeah, I mean, men are definitely way more difficult for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a good one actually from Andre. Andre says, "Is there an IP you're working on, like a personal project that you'd ever want to work on, or are you working on something personal?"
Yeah, it's funny because it seems like all the artists that I know, they're working on something personal or they have some ideas, but to be honest, I don't really have that right now. Maybe, I mean, I never had, like, for instance, when I was a teenager, there were a lot of people in the manga community who wanted to draw their own manga, and I always felt like I'm not good enough to do that. For instance, maybe if I'm like, even if I can draw a little bit, like, it doesn't mean that I would be successful in doing a good story. There are people who are specialized in doing stories, so maybe they should rather do that than I do. That's always how I thought. And so I never was the person who would develop like stories that they want to put in a comic or anything like that. I mean, I have ideas maybe for storytelling that is in one picture, but I think I wouldn't have the patience to do like a series of pictures, with the same topic. Or I think I would get bored to do that, and I would never finish it. So, I mean, I admire people who have the patience to just work on one thing for like a few years and then do something else. But I think it would hard for me to do that. Yeah.
So that's kind of a different. Yeah, I meet a lot of artists that think that way. I mean, yeah, it's kind of I guess different waters for people.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean, I sometimes I even think if it's something wrong with me that as an artist you don't feel like you want to work on your like big project, But for me, it's more like I have ideas. I have like a little list of picture ideas that I would like to paint, but I don't have like a project or like a story in my head that I would like to do.
Okay. All right, so we got another one from Adrian. He's asking, what kind of music do you listen to when you draw? That's a good question because I think I cannot draw without music unless I'm in like a hangout or whatever. But I
I
definitely
always watch TV shows. It's so
or,
bad.
or that, yeah. Well, I mean, I've learned to listen to TV instead of watching it because I'm so stuck on painting.
Yeah.
So I listen to TV. I don't watch TV. But so what do you? Yeah, what do you do, Jana?
It's a bit funny because I don't work on my own project, but I also don't really listen to music while I paint. I don't know. Maybe something is wrong with me. I don't listen to music that much. I mean, I like to listen to people talking to. I just like to have a background noise. Basically, it could be anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It can be music too, but I don't like. I can't work if it's totally silent. I mean, sometimes I do that too, but I don't need music to paint. I mean, if it could be just people talking next to me, and that would be enough for me to paint. I don't really listen to music. It probably sounds super weird to you, but yeah, that's how it is.
That's interesting. Okay, so another one from Adrian, which is I think a good question. Is there any company or client you'd love to work for, or like a dream project that I'd like to say mine is Star Wars, of course. It's like I think I'll die happily after that. Everything's done. What about you? Is there anything?
It's funny question that I haven't really thought about before. Um, um, I think probably the most awesome thing is just to work on your own stuff and make money. I think I would rather do that than working for a specific company. I think that would be the most awesome thing. If I would just do like a Patreon, I guess, you know. So if I would have a Patreon that would work really well, that would be I guess that would be the perfect job, basically. I don't know, but like a company, I don't really. Let me see. No, I can't. I mean,
So
I
there's
can't
really
really.
nothing specific.
It's really nothing specific. I mean, it's not like that I can't get excited when a company hires me. I can get excited about project, but it's not like this would be my end goal for my life or something like that. I think it's cool if you can, yeah. If artists, if they actually have their own project, I think it's awesome if they can actually make money for it. You know, if you have like a comic or whatever, and you can really use your passion, stuff that you really want to do, into making a living. Because even, I mean, I think I had awesome jobs that were super fun, you know. And like Applebot was really fun, for instance, and a few other jobs. I mean, I'm fine to do client work like this. So, but yeah, I don't really.
So you're just happy as long as you're just doing something art related, and they're paying. You're
Yeah, and if and if I like jobs where you have enough freedom to do what you want to. That's great too. If you know, if it's a style too that I like, you know, because sometimes if you have to really do it in a specific kind of style, I think that can a bit drainy too to do that. But yeah, I don't know.
That's another good question. How do you get over the client being so? I think everybody goes through that where you get a client that's trying to tell you, no, no, I want this, and you're like, but that's horrible. That's a horrible idea. Like, do you try to meet them in the middle, or do you pitch them? Do you pitch them your own idea first, and then say, what do you think of this? Or how do you
Yeah,
work around that?
it's funny because once I did that, like I received feedback from a client, and usually I would do what the client says because the client is king, you know. They hire you, and I feel like you should do what the client wants, you know. But I really felt like this is so weird, and I was writing the client back and explained why I wouldn't like to do that, and I gave them an option because it was something like. Like adding another light source to make the silhouette come out or something like that. And I said that, if you make the background a bit lighter, then the silhouette would still come out too, you know. And if you give them an option, that's better than refuse the critique completely. But usually I would try to make the best out of it, you know. And sometimes it actually, I mean, the clients usually they're not stupid too, you know. I mean, the art directors, they have the job for a reason, and usually like it actually looked better. Like when I would do the critique they wanted, it would help the picture. So I rarely had critique that I didn't like. Usually it really helped.
Yes, so that's kind of a hit or miss because I mean there's just people that know what they're talking about, and then you have the people that just want to make you pull your hair out. You're like, oh my god. But yeah, cool. So you meet them in the middle. Awesome.
I guess.
Suzanne's asking, are you looking forward to IFCC Croatia? Smiley.
Yes.
She said smiley face.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it's already next month. I mean, time flies. I mean, always with workshop that I haven't been before. I don't really know what to expect, but I mean, they have a great lineup, and I'm gonna meet people that I was eager to meet for so long, and I'm just really excited about it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my god, you're all so lucky.
Yeah, Croatia.
And I've never been to Croatia.
It's
too,
awesome.
So.
Try the pizza.
Yeah?
Don't forget, try the pizza. I keep telling people about that. The pizza in Croatia is the best. You gotta try it.
Okay.
Okay, so
if they have vegan pizza, I will do that.
Exactly.
oh, that's true. Jesus.
I had vegan pizza just a couple of days ago. It is possible. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, been to Las Vegas, and I was so surprised how vegan friendly Las Vegas is. And we had awesome vegan pizza, and yeah, it's like there's vegan options everywhere. It was really, really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So is there any other questions, guys, that you want to before we go into?
There's another one.
Which one?
Right under Suzanne's.
Oh yeah. Have you? Yeah. Go ahead. You want to read it, Lorna?
I don't care. Have you ever tried to do some 3D work?
Not really. I was telling to myself, oh, I should learn it someday because it seems so essential for being a concept artist nowadays. And I feel I only got away with not knowing 3D because I was doing characters, But it's definitely like a long-term goal. And like for instance, my roommate, he's a really good 3D artist, and I should ask him to teach me sometimes. And Matthias, he knows 3D too, but I was looking over his shoulder when he was doing some 3D and 3D Max, I think, and it looks so crazy complicated.
Yeah.
I remember the first time when I was switching from Painter to Photoshop, I was seeing the interface of Photoshop, and I already felt so stressed about all the icons, and it looked so complicated for me, and that's how I felt too with 3D. So I guess maybe you just have to get used to it, but it seems like really, really complicated. But also people were telling me I should try to start sculpting, like a ZBrush, or what's it called, Sculptress, I think.
Sculptress, yeah.
Yeah. So it's more, organic and easier to learn, I guess. So yeah, I would love to try that out, but you know how it is. You're like, oh, I would like to try that out, but then a few years later, you still haven't. Yeah. But that's definitely, I would like to try that. I tried SketchUp, but that's already looked so complicated, but
I know I tried it like one time and I got a headache and gave up. I was like, nope,
Oh, yeah?
I'm not born to do this 3D stuff.
SketchUp, yeah. I
Well,
used it once for a map. Because
was it easy for you to use it? Because, there's a bunch of tutorials out there, and I'm sure it's not that hard, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not that hard, but to be honest, the only thing I did was just pull out some squares.
You made a box.
Just to know where the houses are going to be, because it was actually like a map.
That's great already. I mean, if you just use this as a basic for like for the perspective and stuff, I'm sure that can already help so much. Yeah. It helped a lot. Because I'm just bad at perspective, so. Yeah. It's probably just easier to put some blocks, and instead of just constructing the whole perspective, it's a pain in the ass. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still surprised I know how to use Photoshop. Like I don't know anything about computers. I'm just like, oh, Photoshop. Oh. But yeah. So is that all the questions you guys got? Is that they're talking about pizza now? Speaking of pizza,
are you getting hungry now?
I know. Yeah. I think I'm gonna order some pizza after this. Okay, so I guess we'll start with the winners of the challenge. I don't know if you can see them, Jana.
Yeah, but I have to say something, that it was so fucking hard to choose winners. Like, it's probably one of the most difficult things to do, because I really enjoyed all of the entries, and I just wanted to say it's really not easy to choose. Like, for me, for me, it's already, if you do a picture, that's already a win, right? So
exactly, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, good job, everybody. You guys rocked, man. It was good stuff. So we'll go and start with the honorable mention, which I loved. Was Lorena's piece. It was really awesome. I mean, everything, the colors, the comp was just so nice. I loved it.
Yeah. I really like the shadow on her face too. It gives a nice focus.
Yeah, it's that cool light just hitting her right in the You're right in the face. That sounds horrible. But
Yes.
but it pops her out so nice though. I love it. I love that effect he did.
Yeah, it was kind of hard because this is pretty much the biggest thing I've done so far, I guess.
Oh,
But
Was
So
do you feel like you learned a lot?
yeah, I did actually, like tons. Really, I did. It was just for that, it was totally worth it.
Oh, that's
So-
cool.
And I had so much fun. And I got my new tablet when I just started this, so I could like get used to my new tablet with this. And it was
That was
so
fun
much
to
fun.
try out new tools, right?
Yeah, exactly.
so yeah, good job, Lorena. I loved it. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, and we're gonna go to third place. Joel Kilpatrick. His piece was pretty epic.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, it's just pretty. It's so. It's like the Michael Bay of the entries. Like it's got so much action and it's
so
fun.
dynamic.
It is.
Has so many characters too, and I like that. Some people would maybe go a bit lazy and just copy paste, but you can actually see that all of them are doing something. It's pretty fun to look at.
Yeah, they're all pretty individually made.
Mm.
The only thing I think why it was in third was because you can't really see her face.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't really see her design.
Yeah, we don't know
in the
these.
front.
Yeah, we don't know these characters, so it would have
Yeah.
been cool to see her somehow. But even then, though, this piece is
Yeah.
just all around really good.
Yeah, especially if it's asked for a character, it would be cool to see as much as possible of the character too. But it's kind of cool to see like a scene like this. So, it's still awesome,
Yeah, love it. Good stuff. Joel's he's always winning. He's a winning hog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop winning, man.
Be bad for once.
I know. All right, the next one, second place was Dan Janos, which I misspelled in the banner. I'm sorry, dude. It's Janos, Ianos, not Lanos. I'm sorry, dude. I can't read sometimes.
Yeah, apparently.
Thanks, Lorena.
Just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But yeah, this was an awesome piece. I really like the mood in this one. I don't know. What do you think, Jana?
Yeah, I think I loved her pose too. Like, she really has this attitude of like a leader or something. Like, I really like how she's just the way how she stands. Like, her body language is really cool, I think, too. Like, it looks really epic, even if you think that it's just you could say it's just a character standing, but it really got the tension in the body, which makes it for me.
Yeah, I loved it. Nice
Yeah.
piece, man. Good job, Dan. I love you, man. And finally, the winner, Step. He just actually joined the group, and he's already winning. So yeah, thanks for inviting him, Manuel. Seriously though, this piece just rocked all around. It was like Joelle's piece, only where you can see her. Like so much action, and just all around great piece.
Yeah, I mean, you guys really take it to the next level. Like, with all of the entries, almost like even if you ask just for a character, you guys put so much work into the details and the background. And I mean, this picture has so much more characters than just her, but it really emphasized her character. I think, to have so many people around her, and I think it's really cool.
Yep, loved it. So yeah, there it is. There's the winners. We already knew who the winners were, but still, just wanted to go over them.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, good job, guys. So next month we have not next month. That's in like how many days? Like 15 days.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
15 days, something like that.
Deadline for the next Ascension, which is gonna be David Levy judging for that. And
Yay.
Yeah, following David will be Lius Lasahito. Is that how you spell it? Pronounce it? He's a really awesome artist. I just discovered him. He's done work for Applebot as well and stuff like that. So he's pretty amazing.
Yeah, his work is awesome.
Yeah. So that's it for this interview, Jana. Thank you.
We made it.
Yay! Thank you very much for judging and coming by and doing the interview.
Thanks so much for having me. I felt honored that you asked me.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thanks everybody for
Guys.
Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it, and we'll see you in 15 days. All right, Jana.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.